Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you're all having a lovely day so far. Today I wanted to try something a little bit different. I'm going to be ranking all of the starter Pokemon based solely on how cute I think they are. I wanted to make this video for a little while, and since the starters for Pokemon Legends ZA were announced recently, this seemed like a great time. So just to clarify, I won't be taking into account any stats or moves or anything like that for all of these Pokemon. I also won't be looking at the evolutions, I'll just be doing the basic Pokemon. Now, I do want to say, obviously this is my opinion, I'm just having some fun with this video. I am in no way trying to dunk on the creators of these Pokemon, nor am I trying to imply that people shouldn't like certain Pokemon or anything like that. Everyone has their own favorites, their own unique perspectives, and that's the great thing about opinions. And if you have your own rankings for these Pokemon that you want to share, I'll include the link to the tier list in the caption so you can make it, share it on socials or something like that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, I do want to acknowledge that, obviously these Pokemon were designed to be intentionally more cute. If you get what I mean, you look at the allometry of features, big eyes, round faces, short stubby bodies, stuff like that. Those were intentional design choices that make the Pokemon objectively cute. For as much as something like cuteness can be objective, these combinations of features are part of nature. We see them in real life with baby animals and stuff, and we can see that in a lot of the basic Pokemon too. So in no way am I trying to say that any of these Pokemon are straight up not cute. I'm just ranking which ones I think are the most cute. Anyway, with that whole thing out of the way, let's crack on with the ranking. So you can see we have here our tier list. At the top we have the cutest, 10 out of 10. Below that we've got cute as heck, and then pretty cute, not my fave, and meh. So as you can see, these are in order by dex number, so we'll just be going through starting with the Gen 1 games all the way through to the Gen 9 starters. So first up, we've got Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur 001 in the dex. I do like Bulbasaur. Visually, I'm more of a mammal girly. That's just my personal preference. My tastes are a little bit more mammo-centric, but I do think Bulbasaur is cute. The thought that was just coming into my head was to compare Bulbasaur's cuteness to the other two Gen 1 starters, and I actually don't want to do it that way. I don't want to rank them based on their standing just within their generation. I'd more like to look at it across the whole starters, so I need to force myself to not just be well, I like this one the best of those three, if that makes sense. So, looking at Bulbasaur on a scale of the whole starters, I think I'm gonna go pretty cute for Bulbasaur. Pretty cute. Also, I am very indecisive. If you have never been to a stream of mine or never seen any of my other videos, you might not know. So I'll just come out and say I have a lot of ADHD, and I am very indecisive. I struggle to make all sorts of decisions. I might backtrack and change some of these as we go. If I see two in the same category that actually I wouldn't have put in the same category, I might move one. Anyway, so these are subject to change throughout the video. So next up, Charmander. My brain was about to give me Charizard. No. Charmander. Again, I am not huge on reptile kind of vibes. All of the Gen 1 starters actually are a little bit more amphibian/reptilian in design, which is not my preference, as I've said. Doesn't mean I think they're not still cute. Charmander, I'm gonna go not my fave, I think. I also feel like in terms of the design, it's a little bit less involved. I don't know if that is a factor for me in this though. Actually, am I gonna go meh? No, I'm sticking with not my fave for now, and I think I'm also gonna put Squirtle in not my fave. I think I feel the same about Charmander and a Squirtle. Next up, Pika-Pee. I am gonna just go in the middle. Go pretty cute for Pikachu, I think. I mean, I do think Pikachu is pretty cute, but I can think of a lot that I think are cuter than Pikachu, and therefore Pikachu is gonna go in the middle of the table for now. Also, yes, as you can see, I did include Pikachu and Eevee in this list. So Eevee I'm gonna put in cute as heck. I love Eevee. Eevee's not a favorite, but certainly up there. I think in a top 10 for me, I think what Eevee would be. I guess top 10 should maybe be the top tier, but I'm reluctant to put things in the top tier for now. So we're gonna stick with cute as heck for Eevee. Chikorita, again, visually, I wish there was a little bit more going on with Chikorita's design. I think I'm gonna go meh. Or I'm gonna go not my fave. Yeah, Cyndaquil's pretty cute. Yeah, Cyndaquil and pretty cute. Totodile, I am not a fan of Totodile. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're a big Totodile fan. I'm sorry. I hope we can still be friends. Now, Trico's an interesting one because Trico, I think, is really cool visually, and in terms of just being a Pokemon and stuff. Trico, I think, is cool. How cute do I think Trico is? Like, if I look at Trico, how much of me wants to say, "Aw," or something like that? I'm inclined to put Trico at the bottom, but it's not, because some of the Pokemon that are going to go in the bottom tier is because I don't really like them as much visually generally. I do like Trico, but this is a cuteness ranking. So I think I'm gonna put Trico at the bottom, which feels weird. It feels wrong. Maybe it should go in not my fave? No, because I just look at it and like it doesn't look cute, but not in a way that I dislike. I just, see what I mean about the indecision. I'm just gonna go back and forth. I'm putting Trico in the bottom, but it's not because I don't like Trico's design. It's just because it doesn't feel cute. Torchic, on the other hand, who, by the way, was my first ever Pokemon. Fun fact, my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Ruby, which was a gift from my parents. 20 years ago, this month, actually, I was looking through my calendar the other day to add some events in, and I saw at the end of the month, 20-year Pokemon anniversary, and I'd completely forgotten I'd put that in. I must have, at some point, worked out the date, because I knew that it was Easter that I was given Pokemon Ruby. I had worked out the date exactly that I had been given Pokemon Ruby and started playing it, and then put it in my calendar for this year as the 20th anniversary. So, oh, sorry, my dog's in the room, he's sighing. Yeah, you're tired of my stories, I get it. But happy 20th anniversary to me and playing Pokemon. But Torchic was my first ever Pokemon, so that's fun. Does have a very special place in my heart from a nostalgia perspective. I'm gonna go cute as heck. It's not just the nostalgia talking. Actually, it's not the nostalgia talking. I do think Torchic is really cute. That was a very long tangent for me to rank Torchic. It's fine. Mudkip, also cute. I think I'm gonna go cute as heck. I think Mudkip is cuter, in my opinion, than the ones I've put in pretty cute. So I'm gonna go cute as heck for Mudkip. Okay, we're on to Gen 4 now. I did sort of say that I don't prefer reptiles and amphibians as much. I do think Turtwig is pretty cute. I'm gonna go pretty cute for Turtwig, I think. I feel that this middle tier is gonna end up very full. Chimchar, likewise, So I picked Chimchar when I played the Gen 4 games originally. I almost exclusively picked fire types until we got to a certain generation later, which I'm sure I'll talk about. But I did pick Chimchar. How cute do I think Chimchar is? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go pretty cute for Chimchar. Maybe that's just the primate in me speaking. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna put Chimchar in pretty cute. And then Piplup? See, it's difficult because I can look at most / all, let's say most. I can look at most of these Pokemon and be like, oh yeah, they're cute. Sort of more objectively. How cute do I feel? How much does Piplup make my heart go aw? Is the question. Okay, I'm putting Piplup in pretty cute as well. But if that category gets too full by the end, I might shuffle a couple of the Pokemon out of that category. We'll see. Okay, Snivy is next. Now, I do really like Snivy, but similar to Trico, I don't think that it's cute. It looks cool, which is, you know, that's like a personality thing sort of being conveyed through the design of the Pokemon. I don't really think it's that cute, though. But again, it's not because I don't like the design of Snivy, but I'm gonna put it in meh. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in meh. Now, is it cute compared to its evolutions? Certainly, it's more cute than Serperior, for example, but in comparison to the rest of the starter Pokemon, I think I'm gonna put it in this category. We've got Tepig next. Tepig, again, I'm really struggling to combat just putting them all in the middle category. Like, I'm really trying to actually rank them against each other. I think I'm gonna go not my fave for Tepig. I did pick Tepig when I played Gen 5. Again, like I said, I almost always picked fire types. We'll go not my fave. I think Oshawott is gonna be in there as well, in not my fave. This doesn't mean I don't like the Gen 5 starters, just to be clear, all of them being down here. It doesn't mean I don't like Gen 5 or the Gen 5 starters or anything. It's just for this purpose. Okay, Gen 6, we've got Chespin. I know a lot of people don't like Chespin. I don't know how much of that is because of Quilladin and or Chesnaugh's design. Chespin, I think, is, like, pretty cute. I'm gonna go not my fave. I know I just said pretty cute, and that's the name of one of my categories. I don't think they are as cute as some of the ones I've put in pretty cute to me. So I'm gonna go not my fave. I wonder if I should order them within the tier. Maybe? I'll consider it. Fennekin is fine. I guess that's a meh. That was a very neutral reaction. That feels like it should be a meh. Like that's indifference, I feel, which I guess that's where Fennekin's going. Now what about Froakie? This is a very bottom heavy tier list so far. I'm tempted to put Froakie into meh as well. Maybe? I think so. I'm trying to go with my gut. That's one way to combat indecision, is to just not spend any time overthinking. Actually, not even just overthinking. Not spend any time thinking. If you don't let yourself think at all, you can't overthink. So I'm just going with my gut. Froakie's going in meh. Now, we come to Rowlet, who is the Pokemon that made me stop only choosing Fire-type Pokemon. I exclusively picked Fire-type starters from my very first Pokemon game, Pokemon Ruby, all the way up until I played Pokemon Sun. And it is because I started Pokemon Sun, I saw the starters, and I said, what the hell, that owl is so cute. Or something to that effect. Rowlet is one of my 2 actual favorite Pokemon, so obviously, I'm putting Rowlet in the top, the cutest 10 out of 10. I actually considered naming this category Rowlet, but then I didn't want to, well, I guess that sort of would have spoiled the rankings, but also I didn't want to, what if I put another Pokemon in there and it's called Rowlet? You know, how would that other Pokemon feel? But Rowlet, my favorite Pokemon, alongside Mareep, who is not a starter, but would have been in that category as well if they were. They're going in the cutest 10 out of 10. Litten, I'm gonna go pretty cute. I think I'm gonna go pretty cute for Litten. Yeah. And Poplio, not my fave, I think, maybe. Now, Grookey's pretty cute. I will not comment on the other members of its evolution line, but Grookey itself I do think is cute. I'm gonna put Grookey in cute as heck. Am I putting them in Groot as heck? It was Grookey and cute. Yeah, it's Groot. I think I'm gonna put Grookey in cute as heck. Again, subject to change. Also, I've just noticed that the like snout on the front of its face looks kind of like a coconut. That's fun. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's fun. Okay, Scorbunny, I'm gonna go pretty cute. We're moving into second row territory here. That's okay. Yeah, Scorbunny, pretty cute. Sobble, meh. Yes, go with your gut, Haley, go with your gut. I know that because the tier list has added an extra row, you now can't see the Pokemon that are coming up. It's only the Gen 9 starters left at this point. So we've got, wait, these aren't in the right order. Why is Fuecoco first? That's not right, hang on. I was gonna say next up is Fuecoco, but that's not true. It's Grass first. Next up is Sprigatito then. So Sprigatito was my pick for the Gen 9 starters. I think Sprigatito's really cute. Let's go cute as heck. I'm going cute as heck for Sprigatito. See, that makes me want to move Grookey down, but I do still think Grookey is cuter than the ones I've put in pretty cute. I don't know. Anyway, so now it's Fuecoco, and I will say, I at first didn't really like Fuecoco. I see what they were kind of trying to do with like a big, clumsy, awkward, chunky little gator. I didn't love it at first. It has grown on me a little bit. I still think I'm gonna put it in meh. Not my fave. Meh. Oh, if I do not my fave, it cuts off the bottom of my tier list. That's very sad. Okay, well now I'm covering Piplup's face a little bit, but that's okay. I think Fuecoco is gonna go in meh. Or maybe not my fave. Oh, because like I said, they have grown on me a little bit. And I feel like the rankings should reflect that change in sentiment. Maybe they are going in not my fave. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna put Quaxley in not my fave. Or meh. Actually, I'm gonna put Quaxley. Oops. I'm gonna put Quaxley in meh. Okay, I moved it so that we could see everyone a little bit better. I need to spend some time just looking at everyone within one category and seeing if I feel that that's a fair place for them to be. I mean, Rowlet obviously at the top. Again, I considered naming that top category just Rowlet anyway. I do think that none of the other starters are as cute as Rowlet to me. So I think that's a fair place for just Rowlet to be. I think I am gonna order them within the tier because it'll help me get a better idea of whether they're in the right place. I think I'm gonna put Grookey at the bottom of cute as heck because I did consider putting them in this category. I'm gonna go Sprigatito. Go to the front. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put Sprigatito, Torchic, Eevee? I know I said Eevee was like maybe in my top 10. Actually, I'm gonna put Mudkip above Eevee as well. This is interesting. Okay, looking at this pretty cute category, I think I'm gonna put Cyndaquil up the top. Then maybe Scorbunny? Well, Scorbunny should be higher up than they are, certainly. You know, I'm tempted to move Litten down a category. Just looking, I think I'm gonna move Litten down. Keep trying to move it so that we can like see everyone as best as possible. I think I'm gonna go, and see, I feel as though I'm gonna try and put these in order, and the order's not necessarily gonna reflect the sentiments that I shared about each Pokemon when I was putting them in the category originally. Like, I'm gonna move Piplup up a bit, but I'm pretty sure when I put Piplup up there, I was like kind of ambivalent about them. Let's go, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I think. Am I? Actually, no, I'm gonna put Bulbasaur above Chimchar. I think I'm going with the, no. This feels, I didn't vocalize like any thoughts there. I like had a bunch of thoughts all at once, but then couldn't finish any thought quickly enough to like actually say it. So it was just a lot of like half sentences and sounds. I think that's our order for the pretty cute tier. Or maybe Scorbunny? I take it back. That's the order. I don't know. We'll consider those two like tied. For not my fave, I am gonna move Chespin up to the top of this category. Fuecoco I did almost put in mess, so that feels fair that they should stay at the bottom. Litten was in pretty cute, so I guess they should be nearer the top of this category. That feels sensible. Squirtle, I'm gonna move down. Oh, is Squirtle less cute to me than Fuecoco? Maybe. Chikorita, likewise, I'm gonna move down to here, I think? And then Charmander should be down here as well. It's interesting because my gut instinct is to keep moving Fuecoco up past some of these other Pokemon, which is interesting because, like I said, I almost put Fuecoco in the bottom tier. But now that I'm comparing it to the other ones within this tier, I want to move Fuecoco up a bit. Maybe like this? No, I'm gonna put Oshawott above Tepig. I'm gonna put Popplio above Tepig? No, I think that's the order for not my fave. Okay, now of this bottom category, I am really sorry if you're a Totodile fan, but like, just in terms of which ones I think are the cutest, the Totodile's right at the bottom of the list for me, and I'm so sorry to the Totodile lovers out there. I really am. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. Again, in terms of cuteness, I don't think Trico and Snivy are very cute, so maybe they should be a little further down, but again, it's not because I don't like their designs, I just don't think they're cute, you know? I don't look at them and want to like pick one up and like give it a cuddle or something, you know? I think I'm gonna put Sobble down here. I know I just said about these two, like, I don't really think they're cute, but that feels right. I'm gonna put Froakie above Fennekin. I think that's my order. Again, I have this all the time when I'm like making any decisions in anything. I need to spend a long time, make the decision, and then stare at the completed result for a minute for my brain to process whether it's correct or not. I'm also gonna have some water while I do that. You all should make sure you're staying hydrated as well. Very important. Okay, I'm gonna make a change. I'm actually gonna move Scorbunny up to cute as heck, and I'm gonna move Grookey down to pretty cute. I've swapped those two. They're in different categories. I think I'm happy with this. Again, it's very hard for me to say definitively that I am in fact done with the decision, but that's done enough. I'm happy enough with that ranking. So just a quick recap, in meh, the bottom category, we have Froakie, Fennekin, Trico, Snivy, Sobble, Quaxly, and Totodile. In not my fave, we've got Chespin, Litten, Fuecoco, Oshawott, Tepig, Popplio, Chikorita, Charmander, and Squirtle. So difficult for me going through these lists to not say the wrong name. Oh my gosh. In the middle category, pretty cute, we've got Grookey, Cyndaquil, Piplup, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Chimchar, and Turtwig. In cute as heck, our runner-up category is Sprigatito, Torchic, Mudkip, Eevee, and Scorbunny. And no surprise to anyone, in the cutest 10 out of 10, I've got Rowlet. You might have noticed it earlier in the video, but I've actually got my Rowlet plush behind me today. So yeah, there we go. There are my rankings of all of the Pokemon starters and how cute I think they are. Like I said before, this video is just for fun. I'm not trying to attack anyone's favorite Pokemon or anything like that. I love all Pokemon. I love Pokemon in general as a franchise, and I had a lot of fun making this tier list. If you want to make your own and share it with me on social medias, like I said, I will link the tier maker in the caption, and you can find the link to my socials there as well. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, watching this video, hanging out with me for a little bit. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate if you left a like and maybe subscribe to my channel as well. Either way, I hope to see you in another video. Thank you again for being here. Take care of yourselves in the meantime, and I'll see you soon. Bye!